morning, Ireland. It's 14 minutes past 8. This morning's headlines: and the increase in radiation after the accident at a nuclear power plant in the Soviet Union.
It was the worst nuclear power plant accident in history. The explosion and its subsequent radiation fallout was 100 times more powerful and devastating than the impact of the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Today, Chernobyl's long and deadly shadow falls across the lives of as many as 8 million people in the Ukraine, Belarus and Russia. This is the Children's Mental Asylum in Vesnova in Belarus, 250 kilometers from Chernobyl. It cares for 160 abandoned and orphaned children with severe mental and physical disabilities.
This is a girl who's new in Unit 5. Her name is Anya. And Anya was born with congenital deformities. And if I take off her baby girl, you'll actually see them.
4-year-old Anya Korotkevich arrived at Vesnova with multiple birth defects and congenital heart disease. Her parents, like millions of others here, were exposed to deadly levels of radiation.
This is her little feet. And if you look here, she's just got 3 toes in this foot, and this is actually her third and fourth toe are webbed. And on this foot, she's just got 2. Now, if you look here, her toes here that were here seem to have been amputated, but I'm not too sure.
Anya is one of almost 250,000 children and young adults who've been helped by the Adi Roche-founded Chernobyl Children's Project.
The census was for Vesnova. The trip started here 7 years ago when we found this institution, which was physically placed at the end of a road that doesn't go anywhere other than to this children's mental asylum. And I remember looking at the building from the outside, a kind of a bleak-looking, uninviting kind of building. But nothing would have prepared me for when we went into the building itself and finding children in absolute despair, children who were dying, children soaked in their own urine, covered in excrement. And the children were terrified of us, unused to human contact or touch. And many of the children were literally on their last breaths of life. And I remember being completely and utterly overwhelmed by the magnitude and the scale of that.
Teams of Irish volunteers have, over the years, transformed this asylum into a place of hope and healing for the children who come here ill and distressed and dying.
Seeing the development of the unit from the start now to the way it's gone has just been fantastic, and it encourages me each time to see the conditions of the kids, the way they have improved, the condition of the building, the condition of everything is it's just getting better every year, and I think that encourages me too to come out, and also the camaraderie of lads that come out working and women. It's fantastic, and see the numbers of them have grown too.
The total cost of this work will run to €2 million. These volunteers packed in 18-hour days.
This is Victor. Victor has a congenital heart defect, and when he went to have his operation for it, he ended up having a respiratory arrest. So that means he stopped breathing, and as you can see from that, Victor has a tracheostomy. This tracheostomy is a very old tracheostomy. It's one we don't see used in Ireland very much. And we're just going to put this down and suck out any phlegm that Victor has, and it just helps him breathe that little bit easier. And he's very good about this. He's very used to it because he has it for a long time. Good man, Victor. Good man. You're all right.
Ina Gudkowski, who's now 17, was evacuated from the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Her mother is dead, her father is in prison. She now lives with her new foster parents in one of the small, self-contained homes of hope set up by the Chernobyl Children's Project.
It's great because I have only one brother and we don't have any mother, and now we have mother and father who cares about us, and as well we have this big family who kind of helps us, and every day you could see, like when I'm coming from school, everybody will just give me a hug and say, how are you? I like to have this big family, you know, because they have the same life as I do. They don't have a mother, so I understand them and they understand me as well. It's fantastic. And I think if we have more of these houses, children like us would be living in a better life.
Sasha Levkin and Sasha Holdev live in the Vesnova Children's Asylum. But because they're now 18 years of age, they're due to be transferred to a distant adult asylum. They're appalled at the prospect, and Adi has promised them she'll move heaven and earth to build them a house of hope where they'll be able to live self-sufficient lives.
So Fergal is going to try his best with Vasa to make a house for you. Yeah? Okay. You're welcome, you're welcome. You're welcome.
If they do go to the mental asylum, it'll break all of our hearts from Bray, especially as a committee, because we had them home for a month and we got on so well, everything went so well. But we actually got great news today about a house, and we are thrilled that it's going through. And we're going back now to fundraise like mad, so it'll get through very quick.
Thank you very much, and then the nurses and Iron. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We've all hands on deck. We've about 4 hours to get the whole job finished. So we need to sand everything down, get it painted, get the skirting on, clean up. That's just going to be finished, but it's not that easy. But everybody is absolutely tired, working very hard for 2 weeks. Why do we do it? Because these are just ordinary, everyday people who just do what they do every day out here. But when they do what they normally do, they can make such a big difference to so many kids. Not just now, and not just these people, but the people that come in afterwards for years and years and years. So 2 weeks out of their time to change the lives of so many people for so many years just makes it all worthwhile at the end, you know.
Colleagues, gather round. It's been an extraordinary trip, and you have done a magnificent job. And you can be proud of the beautiful building that we have left for the children, and leave with the images of the 2 Sashas in your mind strongest of all, because they have been the bravest, the most courageous, and they have spoken for the children here that what they want is a life well lived, and for every child to reach their greatest potential.
The promises as they left to return home to Bray and Kilkenny and Belfast were that they would be back again in the spring. Some partings were almost unbearably poignant. Sergei lost his legs through frostbite. He and his friend Misha now live in this derelict house. They were abandoned as children and don't even know their surnames. This was the final haunting sight the Irish volunteers who pledged to build them a new house didn't see as they left. Tonight, Sergei and Misha will sleep here again, in the long shadow of Chernobyl, in the attic that for now is their only home.